going in to it, I think that, and this is up for speculation, we'll just go right in.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the clothes change?
Dude, yeah, that okay, exactly. Because I'm like, when I first saw that happen with that, I'm like, dude, like, wait, what? You're breaking your own rules. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
So,
So if you remember in the Matt Smith episode, it was the day of the doctor. It was the day of doctor. Yes. Whatever the fifth, the one after the 50th special wasn't the day of doctor. It
the
was
night of the doctor, the time of the doctor,
time of the doctor.
it's the last episode, right?
And what was he wearing?
He was wearing the purple jacket and a
Mm-mm.
purple tie, right?
Was he wearing anything? Because what did he actually have on?
When he regenerated,
No.
or when he's old.
But and this is kind of the funny one as well. Um, the doctor wasn't wearing anything.
Really? Okay, remind me. I don't remember this at all.
So you remember at the beginning of the episode when she introduces him to her family,
Mm-hmm.
saying that he's pretend boyfriend, and he's not wearing anything.
Yep. Okay, I forgot about this. Okay.
And because he had on the psychic feeder projecting clothes into the consciousness mind of everybody else. Now I saw a couple of theories saying that, well, maybe it just changed because that's what the old doctor used to wear, and that doctor actually wasn't wearing anything, but just had the psychic projection going, which is a little bit out there.
That's
But
far fetched. That's far fetched because
but you
even
know,
because when he used the that paper with Donna's husband, says that's his mistress was ketchup. I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I buy that theory that it
in
was
regards to just the regeneration, it's not saying that he couldn't have put clothes on
right.
immediately after, or to say we don't really know how much time
That's
there
true.
was. I don't think they said how much time really was from when he regenerated to when he met Donna, or Donna's husband, I should say, right there at that point in that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a specified time. We really do know that between the three specials that there was only like a day
Was
in
it a
between
day?
like all three specials. It was maybe 2 days, because from the time that he meets, you have that one night passes,
Yeah, with the meat,
because they go
right?
through so the whole thing with the meat, everything, and then what happens? So it's the next day they get
And
sucked to that next adventure, which takes how long? Matter of hours
yeah, because it's a
within the
slow
second
countdown.
special.
Mm-hmm. It's a slow
But they
countdown.
could have been there more than a day.
Well,
There's no
remember
way.
remember that the thing because it just I literally just finished watching it was they it was 3 years for it to move from when they arrived to when they exploded.
Yeah, but they accelerated the countdown.
You're
So
right.
they were there for 3 years, but that robot, I'm assuming it was only a matter of hours. There's no way they were there for longer, because they couldn't have been running there for more than days, because they met the creatures quickly. The
Yeah,
only
yeah, you're right.
thing that they had to go down was the hallway
Mm-hmm. You're right. Okay.
and all that. And then how long did the next one take? Maybe another day or two,
I think another day too because
maybe. So you're talking that all the lifespan of what we see of that 14th Doctor is 3 days
okay,
at
okay, that's it.
max.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, yeah.
So everything really does get wrapped up super quickly. And that whole story doesn't take place over a long period of time.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it happened pretty fast.
No, I think in that first special, talk about it. So we got the meat is originally from comic, right?
One,
Is what
I
we're
know
talking
that.
about.
Go ahead.
No, no, we were just talking about that. So it's an interesting, it's just an interesting concept to a creature because it's not one of those ones where usually when you know the bad guy, kind of the bad guy, and this was one of those ones where then the bad guy ends up being and tricking somebody, but we were fooled by it the entire time as well because you're thinking these robots are after it, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay,
That yeah, no, because it was like that's what, oh, to hell with this.
Now, let's be fair. It's your turn, the meep. Witness for the defense. So, what do you say?
Now to hell with this Exhibit C! No stun guns from me! Just die!
And shoot the robots. I'm like, oh, you're like, well, I'm the bad guy. I thought it was a fun return to form for Doctor Who and bringing back David Tennant. I thought it was okay. This is fun. I know what we're getting. It felt very classic. 10th Doctor, 14th Doctor, David Tennant adventure. Um,
I would agree. I think it was one of those ones where I think that it was very much return to form where you have that whole, I mean, even before Capaldi, more
yes,
along those Tennant Smith years. Um, you have more of that return to this kind of classic adventure doctor, which even then, Tennant's getting a little older, but he still felt young again.
hmm
Like, even though we know he's older and the banter was back, you had more of that writing, the dialogue was there. It did still feel a little clunky in parts,
yeah.
you know. And I know, and this is the big one, it's people will differ on this and the whole woke aspect of everything and how to do that. And I think it's a nice addition into there. I don't think that it felt out of place. Some people felt that it just felt forced and out of place and that the BBC is trying to write their agenda. Is probably the most written episode to the BBC about Doctor Who ever
Really.
because of the whole they them
I mean, yeah,
conversation.
I can I can I can see why people would do that. I don't agree with it because I'm like that's the point of the whole Doctor that's been like we've seen it in other incarnations turn from, and not even just the Doctor, other Time Lords go from change gender and sex. I'm like, you're. I don't feel it had your that argument warrants any water, hold any water. Um, I think now is it like I think now that it's more prevalent, you can name it this, but it's always been there. I felt, 'cause even with the
Well,
rose,
and it,
good.
yeah, it's one of those things that when Jack Harkness was on,
Hmm
it wasn't called a they them, but it was still openly, and people love Jack.
Oh yeah,
Like, how is he not one of the fan favorites? He's definitely not. Again, whatever your definition of like companion is, like he's not my favorite companion, but he's definitely one of my favorite characters, and I did actually get to meet him in real life and take pictures with him. He's a really funny guy.
he was here up in San Francisco last in November for the fan con. I went to his panel. I'm like,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, dude, you're so funny. He
Yeah,
is a
no,
funny guy, dude. Like he's
he is absolutely hilarious. But it's always been a part. I mean, he was in season one,
yeah.
like of this new Who series, and it was this whole thing. And even with the Eccleston, but I think maybe a little bit more with the Tenant one. there was even that flirting going on, and he would do it back, you
Yes.
know? So even at that point in time, even though whatever you want to talk about with the timeless child and everything else like that, that the doctor was definitely a little bit more loose than I think what people really wanted to admit. They still wanted this very one-dimensional kind of character instead of this 2 or 3 dimensions that they couldn't grasp. And all of a sudden, the words, I think, they them came out,
Yeah,
and all
because
of a sudden,
that's right. Because it did happen. It did come out when the doctor asked the meep, "Are you a he or a she?" And then she goes, "How do you know that's the pronouns or whatever?" It
mhm.
did come out, but I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's a valid question. I thought I didn't again. I did see it. I did see it on the internet. I did see people say, "Oh, BBC is woke. Doctor Who's woke." I'm like, it's always been, but whatever. Um, because even they even mentioned it too in in the episode where like, well, the doctor is non-binary. That's why there was the doctor and Doctor Donna.
Mhm.
And that's why I understood why she didn't. So let's go back a little bit to past Doctor Who. Was that because when Doctor Donna took on the Time Lord energy or whatever, the reason why she didn't, the way I understood the reason why she didn't die was because she gave birth to the child. The child took them both from Donna and the doctor who at the time was male, and was that's how I understood it.
Well, yes, yeah. So we talk about the meta crisis,
Right.
and when Donna absorbed that energy, her human brain couldn't cope with having that amount of Time Lord in her, and so that's
Mhm.
why he had to take away the memories, and she couldn't remember. Obviously, there were still certain things about it that she did, and then they talk about the whole non-binary thing,
Mhm.
um, and everything like that because it was passed on through childbirth, and that's how it was able to finally get resolved. Which that one to me, I do feel like it's a little bit of a cop out.
Oh, it's a hell of a
I
cop out.
did
It's a big cop
I
out.
did,
I'm like
I
this.
did feel like that. It's just
I
that lazy writing, you know.
I was like, "Frack you guys." That's such a cop out. I remember thinking that too. I'm like, that's such a cop out. I remember them like, it's cool, but it's a cop out. Whatever.
Because I mean, you talk about it, and it's one of the best speeches is the Matt Smith speech, which ends up kind of getting defeated. But it was in the whole I am so much in regards to when he was talking with the God. It's one of Clara's first episodes where we talk about the first like impossible girl thing, and she's got the leaf, and he's talking to the God.
Can you hear them? All these people who lived in terror of you and your judgment. All these people whose ancestors devoted themselves, sacrificed themselves to you. Can you hear them singing? Oh, you like to think you're a god? You're not a god. You're just a parasite eaten out with jealousy and envy and longing for the lives of others. You feed on them, on the memory of love and loss and birth and death and joy and sorrow. So, come on then, take mine. Take my memories. But I hope you've got a big appetite. Because I have lived a long life. And I have seen a few things. I walked away from the last great time war. I marked the passing of the Time Lords. I saw the birth of the universe, and I watched as time ran out. Moment by moment until nothing remained. No time, no space. Just me. I walked in universes where the laws of physics were devised by the mind of a madman. And I watched universes freeze and creations burn. I have seen things you wouldn't believe. I have lost things You will never understand. And I know things, secrets that must never be told, knowledge that must never be spoken, knowledge that will make Parasite God's place. So come on then, take it all, baby. Have it. You have it all.
So much, and I was like, okay, so we're talking that the idea that a Time Lord is so big, but it's going to be contained then within 2 humans. I still don't fully buy that. Like, if it was enough to break one person, surely 2 people, the amount of memory, like we look at me or a shielder and the amount of lifetimes that she had. Her brain didn't explode, but it just couldn't remember everything. And how many books did she write down over the course of many lifetimes? Like, there's no way that even 2 humans would be able to cope with that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was.
No, yeah, it was. I remember being cop out. Yeah, I thought it was just fun. I thought it was fun. Okay, it's cool. It's good to see them again.
No, it was very much a good adventure, and it was a good, like you said, return to form from what we wanted to see. It gave us the emotions that we wanted. We saw the return of characters. We got new characters introduced. We've got this new mystery, because I mean, that final line, which we still haven't, I don't think we've still fully resolved yet. And knowing Davies in his full season arcs.
What is the line? Because I think I'm thinking the same line, but what is the line you're referring to?
Because it's something, and I forget the exact line, but it's when the Meep is about to be transported away and talking about this big bad boss, and the boss isn't gonna. I forget what it is, but the Meep's talking about this boss. Now, going in later and jumping just ahead a little bit, I don't think that the character we see in the 3rd one is the big boss. I still think that's to come.
I agree. Because they're like referencing the 3rd special, and like he said there's someone that ran away. There's I think he referenced someone else. I think he referenced the master being and his gold tooth. So I'm like, I think that there's some tie to that.
Yeah. So I gotta ask, what would you rate this first special?
Out of 5 stars? Great question. I would give it 4.5.
Okay. So you think it's like a 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, like it's a solid episode. It's solid. It's really strong. It's fun. The whole just the cop out. I'm like, that's a cop out. Whatever. Like I was survived. Remembering that was a cop out. I like that. I did like seeing Unit. I did like the turn of the. I'm like, we've never seen it before. We've never seen. I don't think we've seen it in Doctor Who. The good guy be the bad guy. That reveal. I'm like, that's kind of cool. As they would say in South Park, what a twist.
Oh man, yeah. I think I definitely think I would only probably give it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's still 8 out of 10. I still think it was solid. I think the inclusion of a couple new characters, obviously, that were only going to be there for a short time, did what they were supposed to do, and did what Davies wanted. I just can't justify, and we'll talk about this, but I think that the next 2 episodes are stronger, so I can't justify giving it a 4.5 when I think that the next 2 are stronger. Although this was probably still better than 95% of anything in the Chibnall era.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. That's funny because the next episode I'm gonna give it a little bit lower grade. I already know that because I'm like,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So let's talk about the next episode. But again, thank you, Takaya. Thank you for joining me for this. We'll see you same fracking time, same fracking channel. Frack off.